Good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to discuss about the topic sign, signifier, and signified. The term sign, signifier, and signified mainly comes under the branch of linguistics, that is semiotics, and we know that semiotics is an analysis of learning symbols, signs, and how meaning is created, interpreted, or communicated within the help of a language. That is through signs. For example, we emphasize that when we hear a sound, let us say a pen. So whenever we hear the sound pen, we automatically connotate or we think about a pen in our mind. That is, a pen will be like this shape or whatever it is. So we have an internal connotative power that to think that whenever we hear any sounds, that is, if for example if it is a pen, we started imagine the visual image of pen. And if it is a cat, we think about a cat. If we think about an elephant, like if you hear about an elephant, we think the shape of an elephant, everything. But he says that linguistically there is no relationship between the sound and the image. For example, that is, this is a pen, and this is a pen. We don't know this material. If the material is called as chair, then we will be calling this thing as chair. That is, our ancestors say that this is a pen and this is a table and this is a book. So we automatically call them as book, pen, and chair. So if there is no connection with the word and the material. So he says that the word cat is cat or a pen is arbitrary, where is no, it has no connection between the sounds or visual value, and we think automatically about the material we hear. Because of the sound, we automatically think about the substance or materials. There is another example I'll show you. You can see that this is a traffic line light, and it is like, we know that whenever we see a red light, it means, it connotates that we need to stop the vehicle. And if it is a yellow color, we know that we are getting ready to move. And only when the symbol is red, then only we can say that you are ready to move or go. So without giving any sort of sentences or anything, only through the lights or like the symbols, we understand or we connotate the meaning. That is, when we see red, it means that we need to stop the vehicle, and when we see green, which means we can go, we can go. So this is what actually so sure want to talk about, how the signifier and signified is shows that arbitrary connection. About a sign, the semiology would show that it constitutes a sign and what law governs them. That is, a simple thing is that there is a concept, that is, here you can see a round, and in that there is a concept and there is a sound image, and this actually means that this concept is signified and the sound image is signified, and this both constitute a sign. That is, sign, signifier, and signified. So the concept or the image, that is, for example, if we hear a word horse, and the image is a concept. The image that comes in your mind is a concept, and the sound image, which means that HORSE, the spelling of horse. So the sound image is signifier and the concept is signified, and both constitute sign. And here he also says that signifier plus signifier gives meaning. In the same way, a sign must have both a signifier and signified, and you cannot have a totally meaningless signifier or a completely formless signified. And this meaning results only through combination of signifier and signified. That is, signifier and signified is interdependent. That is, like parole and lang, which is also interdependent. And this Saussurian model of sign is, we can say that it is a didactic indication, or it is a didactic tradition. And one of the linguists, Peirce, advocates of didactic models in which the two parts of a sign consist of a sign vehicle and its meaning included. That is, it is the signified and the signified. And this was mainly talked by some of the renowned scientists or linguists such as Augustine, Albertus Magnus, and the scholastic Hobbes and Locke. And so, sure, he defined a sign as being composed of a signifier, that is significant, and a signified, that is signify. And the linguistic sign is not a link between a thing and a name, but between a concept, that is signified, and the sound pattern, that is a signifier. So he mainly talks about the concept between a sign is only between through signifier and the signified. And the sound pattern is actually a sound, I mean, for a sound is something which is a physical thing. Sound is just a physical thing, and the sound pattern may be called material element only in that it is representative of our sensory impression. And Saussure also says that this signifier and signified were purely psychological, and both were non-material than substances. Um, so while going in detail, that is, Saussure looked at an element of language, let us say a word, it is divided into two parts. And the sound of the, that is, first part is the sound of the word, which is called as signifier. And the second one is the concept it represents, that is signified. Signifier and signified. That is the word or the sound. I mean, the sound of the word is called signifier, and the concept it represents is called signified. Signifier and signified. And the union of two, as I have already discussed, the union of two is called sign. And he introduced this concept in his book, that is the course in general linguistics by Saussure. And he pointed out that the association of given sound or signifier with a given concept of signified is arbitrary. As we already said, that it is just like an arbitrary thing. There is nothing natural, simple, or permanent about it. This is the next line says a quote from his book, that is, the arbitrary nature of the sign dominates all the linguistics of language, its consequence and numberless. So another thing is like the concept, yes. As I have already discussed, that this tree, this is an image of the tree. That is, when we hear the sound or the word tree, or when we see the word tree, that is, this is a signifier. And the concept, this is a concept that in our mind there is the tree, I mean the image of tree will be appearing, and this is signified. And you can see there is a line between these two images, and this line is known as the line of arbitrary. And this line, it emphasizes on the arbitrary associated between these two halves and suggested on uncertainty or slipping in language. That would become a key to note of post-structuralism. It is just act as a key note to the post-structuralism. And in the place of this idea, signifier and the signifier were closely tied to one another. We know that this is closely tied to one another and joins as a sign. He observed that, as I did, Saussure observed that the term is defined in relation to other similar terms which is nearby. That is that are being, because while we hearing the sound tree, there will be some similarity associated with that sound tree, and we don't want to go in detail because this is very simple topic, and this doesn't need much important in literary criticism, and just think that there is a similarity between the sounds, because we have not synonyms, like homophones and homonyms. So like that, when we hear a sound, it can it can connotate with other sound also. There is some similarity between other sounds also. And this is all about what is sign. This is a brief about what is sign, signified, and signifier. Another scientist, Pierce, has brought about the three ways of understanding media text. That is, it is a somewhat like a detail after a sign, signified, and signified. That is, he says that that is Pierce. Pierce says that the three ways of understanding a text, it can be iconic, symbolic, or index. This iconic, which means that you can see this icon, that is in a triangle you can see a pedestal crossing, a sign is there, that is an icon is there, and this means that signifier resembles signified. That is, it means that so whenever we see the symbol, or I mean sorry, icon, we know that it is the place where we can see a pedestal crossing will be there. So this is icon. And the other thing is symbolic. Here symbolic it was proposed by Saussure. I don't know whether it is clear for you or not. This Saussure, and for example here it is a cat is there. The word cat, C-A-T, cat. So automatically we think about the image of cat, and here the signifier, signified is taking place in the case of symbol. That is like signifier, like signifier is what the sound and the word, that is cat, C-A-T is a signifier, and signified, which means the image of the cat that comes in our mind. And the third one is index. Index means it is directly linked between linked to the signifier. That is, for example, that is when we think about smoke. Like if we see a smoke, it means that there will be fire. Whenever there is smoke, there will be fire. So it is directly without any I mean thinking, or I mean without any knowledge, we suddenly say that if we see a smoke, there will be fire. So this is all about how Pierce has classified in the way, I mean understanding a media text in three ways, that is index, symbolic, and iconic. So I think you understand the basic idea of what is signifier, signified, and sign. It is nothing much, but just to think that the signifier means signifier is a sound concept. The signifier is a sound concept, that is the spelling or the word, the tree, and the signified is the concept, that is image which we see, and this line is an imaginary line, that is arbitrary, and all these constitute together, this signified and signifier constitute a sign. That is, signified and signified constitute and sign, which gives us a meaning. So hope I think everyone understand what is sign, signifier, and signified, and how this father of our linguistics, modern linguistics, so sure has explained basically about this law in his book, that is Course of Linguistics. And if there is any doubt, please do ask me. Okay, thank you.